Hi, and welcome to episode 5 of my vanilla series of Factorio. My name is Icon, and today we're going to expand the starter base and hopefully finish it. I'm not sure if I can accomplish. And yeah, we're going to start with more inserters and more of the production facilities, getting into automation here. So we're going to really start a little factory today. And if you haven't done already, check out my channel. You'll find plenty of other content there. Factorio, other base building games, and yeah, stuff I just love to play. And if you like something there, leave a subscription and you won't miss any future content. And also you make me very, very happy. But enough of that. So for inserters, we're going to need the following things. Inserters want to have iron gear wheels, iron plates, and electronic circuits. It's a pretty basic setup. So I picked up this place here because here I get the iron plates and the electronic circuits all in one go. Can't pick it up with one yellow inserter here, and the other ones can be picked up with a red inserter. So the only thing left to do will be provide gear wheels, and I think that's going to be the least of my problems. So there goes. I will set up a storage chest into this direction here. And we're going to limit that as well, because unlimited chests are pretty bad. Okay, so next step is I want to have a belt of gear wheels here. So what I'm going to do next is a little bit more effective in terms of production amounts. So we're going to provide a larger amount of iron gear wheels because I want to showcase another option how to do it. So a iron gear wheel factory, we're going to check it out. It needs 3 basic inserters to work completely on the input. This one here I want to really maximize with its potential, so I'm not going to waste anything here. So we're going to make it like that. And now I have all the necessary materials for the inserters. Alright, if we check out the recipe for the red inserters, it's a quite similar recipe, only it'll need also pure inserters. So you might have already assumed it, this one will live here. And I'm going to supply the raw inserters from this chest here. And the other items, we're going to take them from down here and from up here. So that's going to be it. And output into this direction to make sure I'm having all the stuff I need on the same location. So now what's happening here is a wonderful thing, and I think I'm going to expand this maybe. So I can also check out with this little tool the following. So we're seeing here I'm quite I'm deficient with the total production of iron gear wheels. So what I'm going to do is something like that. I'm going to do them over here because there's no loss whatsoever for me if I pick them up here, because this place here is just free. And now I use the complete belt because this machine puts the things on this side of the belt and this machine puts things on the other side of the belt, so the whole belt gets used. I like that. And besides that, I now finally have a supply of long-handed and regular inserters. Isn't it wonderful? Okay, so next step will be pipes and pipe to grounds, but that's very, very simple. That's just a pure iron plate. No, we're not going to go for these next. I'm going to go for electric mining drills and assembling machines next. Simple reasoning behind that is we're going to replicate this another time. So we are going to overproduce iron gear wheels on this belt here. So again, I mentioned it last episode, but I'm going to do it again. So I'm doing a shift right click on this one, followed by a shift left click to copy these recipes. It's a wonderful, powerful move to ensure that you're going to do no unnecessary work. Okay, so it goes the same procedure. Input, output, 3 for the input, 2 for the output. And on this side, we're going to use red inserters for the input. So I'm going to check out how many I'll need. Only 2. That's nice. So there we go. And the same goes over here. Yeah, it's a forest of power poles now, but it's okay. I do this massive surplus. Oh, let's check out if everything's working out fine. Okay, you see, I upped my defenses by a lot. And we're going to pick up a few items here again. A little bit more of the ammo and a few more plates. Just stand on the belt and hold down F while moving. Okay, so I'm handcrafting a few more gun turrets here. Maybe I'll just loot a few of those iron gear wheels, and I'm going to loot a few of those electronic circuits. It's pretty nice to have a handful of those in your inventory to work with. Makes your handcrafting go a lot quicker. And now, finally, I'm able to pick up a few things. So let's pick up belts and splitters and all the good stuff. I'm going to put down the smaller stacks. Again, pick it up and Control left click to just drop one little stack here. There goes. Okay, now then. You see here, suddenly the machines are not moving again anymore because the amount of iron plates that gets used when all the machines go crazy at once is pretty high. So let's do this for once. Let's hover up, and now I can see I'm eating up 29.5 iron plates per second if all these machines work at once. So I'm just producing 7.5 per second, so you can already you definitely see that the production down there is just not enough. But these facilities are, in my basis, rarely meant to work on top performance, because basically there's no need to produce your inserters on top performance. You don't need to produce your underground belts on top performance. Yes, you can do that. Yes, you can compute that, but it's arguable how useful that is for the future. Okay, so now let's get into the more complicated recipes. I'm going to put down 2 assemblers to give us some kind of a sketch here. So I'm going to need iron plates, iron gear wheels, and electronic circuits there, and the exactly same things over here. So that's a really good thing. So remember, I prepared this here, I prepared this here, so you see everything goes into full circle slowly. We're going to pick up the iron plates here, and again, I'm going to spread it over this place. So no, we're definitely not going to work over here. So we're going to move it like here, and okay, this starts to work out. Okay, so this is one machine. I'm going to work like that. So right here, I just do whatever is handy for me. This is by no means efficient or really good to do. These machines that I pick up here will all be working on pretty subpar ratios. Just want to point it out, not that you think it's really crazy good to build like I do here. No, it's not. It's just I built on function, not on efficiency right now. I want to point it out. But at some points in the game, building towards function is all you need, because right now my most important desire is to have those machines available in a automated scale. So you see here, I now have a supply of everything we need for those miners, but sadly I don't really have the materials necessary, but that's another story. They'll trickle over here again once the production here is done. And we're going to build the next machine in the meanwhile. So as you might have noticed, the input streams are easily continued over here. So there goes. Not much more necessary for some good old assembling machines. So there we are. And again, limiting these chests to one stack is very, very important because I don't want to have full chests of that stuff. Alright, so if we now look at it, even at a 41 plate consumption per second, which is way more than I can use here. So, way more than I can produce here, so. But it's not that terrible. Okay. Next up, there are also laboratories, but I'm not automating laboratories because I never use them in such a large scale that it's worth it. No. Next step will be the pipes. So, of course, they're going to work like that. The pipes. Pipes are very, very important for your factory because there comes the time where nothing works without humongous amounts of pipes. Alright, I'm going to limit the ammo production here, so this way they'll stop producing because I want to have a higher throughput of the iron plates towards this direction. And these little facilities here, it's only 4 plates per second, but everything counts in larger amounts. Some people from a very nice band already noticed. Alright, so we're going to expand into this direction. So everything except for the pipes has been set up. The pipe works are pretty easy to pull off. I'm just thinking if I'm going to do it over here as well. There we go. Because this here is going to be redundant very, very soon. Because in the later stages of the game, you almost never produce yellow ammo to actually use it. Yellow ammo will be an ingredient and not so much a something I really use. Don't know why I did the belt that long. If you see such little mistakes there, just fix them along the way. Never ever consider yourself being able to do everything without a mistake from the beginning. It's unhealthy perfectionism, and it really spoils the fun for many people. To think that you have to do things too ideal in this game. No. Alright, so I'm quite happy with this. Needs 1.2 each. And like it has been said in the comments down below before, there are so many different tools to use when it comes down to how to organize your factory. Try out the mods, browse a little bit, and you'll certainly find your go-to tools quite soon. So I'm setting up here without talking too much about it, the pipe to ground system, mainly because I feel like it's a very, very easily understandable concept. We're just doing our thing here. Because it's pure iron. I just have one facility producing the pipes for me, getting chested in here. And we're using the pipes here, of course, also for the other items. So I'm producing larger amounts here, mainly because I know that I'm going to need them. Once I'm going to need them, I will need them in larger amounts. So there we go. Okay, that's enough of that preparation. There's not much more I need to do. So the last things I want to bring up now are boilers and steam engines, and these are quite costly fellows. So we're going to, I think I'm going to produce them somewhere around here. So I'm not going to automate the boilers because they are so easily handcrafted and they'll need stone. You could, of course, build a little facility to do that, but I almost never do that in my starter bases because, like I said, it's a half a second of crafting time. It's a few units of pipe in the furnace. It's really not much work, and it, in my opinion, the necessary effort to make an automation happen there, it's not worth it in the early game. Later on, I think it's definitely a good thing to do when your factory gets that large that you want to handcraft nothing anymore. But anyways, so to get up a steam engine, we're going to need 2 intermediate products even. The iron gear wheels and the pipes. So these are quite demanding people. Alright, so let's check out where I can set this up without having too much trouble. Going to need a point to produce these beasts, and I think this is a very good position to produce them, because here I have a input of iron plates available, and also if I just mix it a little up, just using a splitter creatively here, I'm having the iron gear wheels available as well. And now I'm going to put up a pipe factory exclusively for that thing. So we're going to connect them like this. And since pipes are just one piece of iron plate, I figured right now. So we're going to make it like that. Of course, this machine now is all out of resources, and it's a long way until this poor buddy here gets his materials to work with, but it doesn't matter. I'm able to do this once I'm able to do this. Alright. So let's shorten the belts where it's not necessary. And this is it. I think I did everything I need. The only things I'm not mass producing now are gun turrets, because I feel like, yes, we want them to. Gun turrets and radars. Well, it's something you only need in such minuscule amounts. I'm not mass producing that. No. We're going to mass produce now science. And when it comes down to the science, I want to use Helmod, because I'm kind of a lazy kid when it comes down to these things. So we're going to add up the recipe for science here, and I'm going to let the tool calculate for me a little bit. So don't mind me setting up that stuff, like I mentioned before. If you're really interested in how this mod works, check it out. There's tutorials for that. I'm just going to use it for documentary purposes here. So I want an output of 1 automation science pack per second, because that's 60 units of science per minute. That's a very okay value to begin with. It's not much, but you can already see here we're going to need a whopping amount of 10 assembling machines to satisfy that. So maybe it's not that small. Ooh. So talking about maybe it's not that small, maybe this attack wasn't that small either. So I'm taking this endeavor here now because I'm well able to produce these amounts necessary. Because now I have automated machines that give me more automation, more assemblers. I have everything I would need to produce these large amounts of science available. So let's do it. Building up a few more gun turrets here because it's pretty obvious that the monsters are attacking on this flank harder and harder. I just repaired these things with repair packs. They're super easy to do. You just click them and hover your cursor and left click on the entity. Done. It's a very, very easy thing to do. So I'm going to produce a few more gun turrets here because, well, since I stopped the mining over here, the attacks stopped as well. But yeah, so as my scanners now found out, there's here one more nest. And let me see here, they're migrating towards, and they're getting attracted, I guess, by the pollution of the smelters here. So I'm going to put up more firepower over here, just in case, because I don't want to risk a complete loss of everything. And like I said before, if you don't like that kind of gameplay, just disable the aggressiveness of the biters. You can completely disable them as well. If you're absolutely not wanting to see any biters in your game, that's also an option. For others, there's the option of the peaceful mode. That's where the biters will just do their thing, but they'll never attack you. You need to clear them out to conquer the land, but you don't need to defend yourselves. The game offers a nice variety of options to do there. Okay, so let's do the same thing here. I want 1 grain science pack per second too. So we're going to need 12 assembling machines here as well. So you see, very, very large amounts compared to what we're doing before. So now I'm going to produce my sciencey stuff on this side. So I'm just like saying this is my production side and this is going to be my science side. Of course, that's not entirely true. For science, we're going to need more production too. But yeah, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to split off resource streams for the science department. So there we go. And I'm going to use 1 underground belt here, put it up here, and you see here the yellow square, and zip, it gets cat out immediately. I love that feature, it's so handy. And like I mentioned before, I'm leaving 1 grid to make it more workable. Okay, so let's get back into the planning tool and let's check it out. So here I'm going to need 10 factories producing that stuff, and I'm going to need 1 iron gear wheel per second. So it's actually really 1 assembling machine with iron gear wheels providing 10 assembling machines of science packs with all the juice they need. Amazing, isn't it? So this sounds a lot, but this is our first intermediate array that we're building. The size of those is, I would consider them intermediate. 10 assemblers is really not too much. So it's a nice thing to get started. Alright, so I'm going to build up 1 assembler for the iron gear wheels. I think I'm going to put them up here quite early into the machinery. So now I'm starting to look them up. It's 241. So, or no. Here I want to have a maximum throughput because it seems to be important to me, because we're only getting 1 iron gear wheel out there per second, so I'm needing the complete per second. So for the output, I could also use, yeah, let's use 1 long-handed inserter. It's a little bit unconventional to do that, but I don't want to use so many resources this time. So there we go. So that's what we're going to work with. Just noticing that the copper's flow is not really useful here. So there we go. How much copper will I need per second? Also only 1. So here we're going to do a nice thing of belt management that well, we're going to make it like that. Yeah, I like this idea. So I'm going to pipe it through here, leave some empty space there, and then we're going to use the underground belts here to do a little bit of magic. So since I need iron gear wheels and copper plates to produce these things, I'm going to do this. This is often referred to as a T-merger. What happens here is I have one side of the belt free, because I'm only producing the iron gear wheels for one side, and I'm just using the other free half. Because since this production only needs 1 copper plate per second and 1 iron gear wheel per second, this belt would provide 7.5 times more if I want to. So this, what you're seeing here, would potentially feed 75 of these beasts if you would want to. I mean, okay, you wouldn't really need to amp up the iron gear wheel production there, of course, but that's the only thing necessary. But yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. So next step, we're going to set up 10 of these beasties. I'm going to put them up like that. I'm going to leave a little gap after 5 of them. It's really not necessary, it's just for my own orientation and organization. So I'm going to output my science over here. I was just considering if I go down there, but no. not going down there. So now we're selecting the automation science pack, and like I shown you before, shift right clicking and shift left click, holding it down and just walking past. It's a wonderful thing. So there we go. Let's check it out. We're only needing 0.1 basic inserters per material, so we're going to be wonderfully served with just one yellow inserter each. There it goes, and one red inserter to output that stuff. Done. Super easy and quick. 60 signs per second. And per minute. 60 signs per second, that would be sick. We're far away from that. But 60 signs per minute is a nice starting value to work with. And now they go. Boom. There you see. So for the green signs, yeah, we're having enough time to do that today too. The green signs is more of a complicated customer. You see here we are needing 12 units to produce the green signs itself, but we're also needing, and that's more interesting, transport belts and inserters. So I'm going to have two ways to do it. I can either tap into my resources here and produce and take my produce, but I'm not interested in that. I want to set up my own facilities to produce that stuff here on site. So I'm going to pipe over the electronic circuits that I'm producing here like this, just lengthening that belt. And now I have the electronic circuits I need, and we're going to set up everything else now too. So turns out my iron really can just flow a little bit less complicated than I had assumed. So I'm just going to put up the iron over here because I'm going to need iron, and I'm going to need iron gear wheels as well. So we're going to produce our iron gear wheels here. So inserters there and there. And I ran out of inserters, so let's pick them up. So things are going more and more on a routine basis now. If I do anything too quickly, or if there are still questions open, always contact me, please, because I really try to make this run as understandable as possible. Okay, so we now have iron gear wheels and iron plates, and you might already know what's coming up next. I'm going to put up my transport belt facility right there, grabbing its materials from here and from there, because that's just quite an easy thing to do. Here I also try to max out the components here as much as possible. We're going to use long-handed inserters for the output to achieve a maximum output. So when you're using those, you can use those yellow arrows as orientation guides. And we're getting attacked. I like to look at these situations just to check out how close the situation was or something like that. Okay, now we have the this done. For the inserters, as we know, it's quite a similar thing. We're going to expand the iron belt here, and I'm going to do the same thing here. And since the inserters need both materials at once, I'm going to make something really nifty if I can't pull it off. Yeah, I'm going to make it like that. So same thing here, inputs and outputs. Oh boy. So we're in trouble. They're trying to eat the facility. Stop eating my factory. So what happened here, I did a grave mistake by not defending this flank. So there we go. That's the thing when you have biters enabled. You produce a lot of dirt while you're doing what you're doing. And that means you need defenses. There we go. Maybe I'm going to automate the turret production. Maybe I'm going to do that. Who knows? seems to be necessary in some degree. Okay, but that's a topic for another day. Let's get back to this here. So there we go. And here I'm using the fact that the machines always use the side of the belt which is further away from them. So I'm mixing up this belt here with all the juicy things that we need. And here goes. Here I can't do the same trick that I'm doing before because here's already the far side connected. So if I would drop down the assembler like this wouldn't work because the side the side of the belt is already taken that I want to use. But it's not a problem at all. So sadly we're going to need a lot of inserters here, so I'm going to make it like that. So this way I'm having one red for one material and one red for the other material. And we're going to output like this. And we're going to output via 2 inserters. Here we go. That's it. So this little bugger here does the same magic. Again, we're using 2 sides of the belt here. Look at them. And here the next step is just to set up 12 of those things there and feed them. Oh, I did a little bit of a mistake. Yeah, okay, but it's not that horrible. There we go. So I'm using here bundles of 6 because we're having 12 assemblers overall. There we go. So maybe I'm not going to run it like that. We're going to run it like that. So there's the material intake, and I'm using the same trick here. This is the far side of the belt, and I'm going to put up the green science. Again, shift right click, shift left click, hold down while running, and yeah. Now I have a pretty nice compacted thing, and if this is too much for you to replicate, don't worry, you can also use pure belts. It's no problem. The only thing that happens when you're using pure belts is your whole setup gets more bloated. You need more belts because, well, you need more belts. I don't need to explain it further, I think. If you don't use both sides of the belt like that, it's getting just a little less compact. The thing here is just I'm utilizing the fact that none of these production chains needs more than 7.5 of their inputs per second. This trick of splitting belts stops working when one of these inputs exceeds the number of 7.5, basically. So let's power it up and look at all the wonderful juicy science going. And now the only thing necessary to do is to use it. I mean, I don't have too many let's check it out. It's holding. I'm going to need more laboratories, of course, to facilitate all the new production, because 4 laboratories will be having trouble tackling this insane amount of science that I'm producing now, because compared with my situation before, I'm producing insane amounts of science. 60 per second, 60 per minute is not too much in a larger picture, but for now I can be super happy with that. And most importantly, now we have access to all these technologies needing both science packs at once. So, and look at them go. We're now getting this stuff produced a lot quicker. So I think I'm going to well, the problem here with how many laboratories to take is a quite simple one. As you see here, I'm having to process every science pack 15 seconds, and I have to do that 10 times. Here I only need 10 seconds per science pack. Here I need 30 seconds per science pack. Here there are even technologies that need, I don't know, where is one? Okay, rarely exceeds this third. Here's 45. So the thing is, it's really hard to pinpoint the exactly good number of laboratories. So if anybody here is wiser than me on that topic, please drop down a comment, because I would be very, very grateful to learn a little bit more about that too, because I might know how to get all this running, but I don't know everything about this game yet. So we're going to put it like there. And one important thing here is I'm building it like this here, because there is we all know that there are different colors of science, and this way I keep myself being able to switch in other colors of science if necessary. Don't know if I'm going to do more colors of science in this space, but I don't want to rule that out because I did that wrongly. That's the last hint for today. Always plan your bases a little bit more stretched out. Leave more room than you need if you can, if you're not unsure how much room you'll need. So anyways, friends, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying your time as much as I do. And yeah, so we're going to do wonderful things in the next episode, because the starter base is pretty much up and running. I don't know, I'm going to think another time if we're having everything here now. So power consumption is holding up with the power production. Yeah, so if you haven't done already, subscribe please. It would be really, really awesome for me. You don't even need to turn on the notifications, because it's just Google measures my importance on my subscribers. It's not my idea. Anyways, friends, I hope you're having a wonderful time until we see each other again, and goodbye.